I'm gonna make a butterfly for a challenge. It's for I forget what the magazine is called, but it's for a magazine. And you had to trace and cut out this butterfly pattern, and you had to somehow alter it. But the requirement is really stressed upon stamping. So I cut mine out, and the first thing I did was stamp just the musical notes on it. And I just used this little stamp from Oriental Trading Company. Oriental Trading Company. And that was my first step. Next I'm going to take some of this gesso on a credit card. I'm just going to dip it in, and I'm going to lightly kind of scrape it across. It usually gives a really uneven, kind of half painted, I don't know, more of a creative look to it than if you were to just paint it on with a regular paintbrush. Now what you didn't see me do was wipe my background off. I do keep baby wipes above me on my workstation so that I can wipe things off, and I keep just a roll of toilet paper nearby so if I want to dry something up quickly I can do that. So I'm going to make sure this is dry before I move on to the next step. Part of what they're looking for, I think, is like what a butterfly means to you. And while I can't put it into concrete words, art is a really great way to express how you feel. Mine is going to sort of have a lot of nature-y kind of stuff in it. And my next step, I want to add another layer of stamping. I have this set that I got from Oriental Trading Company, and I really like this fern. Okay, I decided that that just didn't stand out enough for me, so I'm going to grab another, believe it or not, Oriental Trading Company stamp. Wow, these are really stuck on here. I've never used these before. They're brand new, so. Wow. Word to the wise, if you ever have some that are this sticky. I've torn mine in half before trying to get them off the plastic. So take your time. Do a little bit at a time and don't pull too hard. I'm going to go right over the top of what I've already done. Oh, but I think this time... Where's my embossing buddy? I need that guy. There he is. I'm going to embossing buddy this. Just puts on a light coat of powder so that this powder doesn't stick to everything that's not quite dry. So I'm going to emboss this right after I stamp all the images on there that I want. I'm just going to cover up what I had previously done. I like the look of that better. For whatever reason, I just wanted a darker look. Alright, let's see if this will stick at all. I went ahead and embossed that off camera, well, part of it, until my gun was a little more heated up, and then, I don't know, I'll probably speed this up, but it really, to me, speaks pink next, so I'm going to add some pink coming from the edges, going in, maybe not the whole thing, but a little pink throughout. I don't know if this happens to you when you're creating, but you'll look at something and the color that you want will just pop into your mind. Just be like, wow, pink would look really cool there. I like the look of that. I'm seeing there's probably going to be another color peeking out from the middle. Yeah, I like it. One other thing that I do when I'm done using these stamps, and back in the day when I first started learning how to stamp, they always said don't use baby wipes to wipe off your stamps because it'll dry them out and, I don't know, make them crack or something. But, okay, using those double scrubbers that you can get, that they just get nasty, gross, filthy, and they don't clean the stamps as well, and you're constantly running it under water. Baby wipes are the way to go. I don't know if that's still true, if that was a myth, but none of my stamps have ever broken down, so that's what I go with. So in between, you're not seeing it, but I'm wiping my stamps off and just peeling them off and putting them back on the plastic. I have another idea of something I want to add, and I don't want a lot of this behind it. So I'm just going to dab this on, spread it out, not to cover up everything, but just to kind of give me a base for the next idea that I want to lay down. I ended up dabbing on one more coat, and then after it dried, I'm just using a baby wipe, and I'm rubbing over these two sets of leaves that I still want to be prominent, to wipe off some of that gesso off the top of there. So I gave that a dry. I'm just going back in. You'll see it better on this one. Where I went over it with the paint, I'm just going to scratch some of that, not paint, gesso, off of those green leaves to make them pop a little bit more. But yet I'm still covering up that area for the next stamp level I want to put there. I've got two different branches that I want to put on there. I have this one, and I have this one that you can't see as well, but I really wanted to use this one, but I'm opting, well, to use this one because I want to keep this looking more realistic. And that, you know, has those fun little flowers on it, but that's not the look I'm going for. I'm going to go with a deep brown from close to my heart. It's called Cocoa. I don't really want to go black. I want to add in a little bit more of a color scheme. And that should just about cover that space that I covered up. So that will look really cool if it turns out. Neat. Okay, this is not a trick of the light, but if you check out that branch now, after I inked it with that deep brown, it reacted with the gesso when I heated it, and it turned that dark brown branch into a green branch that sort of matches the whole thing. I'm kind of disappointed that the brown disappeared, but I kind of like the green too because it all matches now. Just wanted to point that out. Now, because I want my little bird to stand out, and I'm hoping that it won't react, I'm going to try my dried up StazOn. I don't use StazOn very much because it constantly dries up on me, and I'm really frustrated by that. But I think there's enough ink left in this one that I can get a decent stamp with just a small stamp like this. So I'm going to make it black. I'm going to use StazOn. That should work. Heat it just to see what happens to the color of that StazOn. Nope, it didn't change. I'm going to go with a color. So I want to make it so that he's kind of like in the sky, sort of, but I still like that pink edging with something that Stampin' Up! Calls Bordering Blue. It's a very, very light. My camera cut out because I can only do like 10 minutes of video at a time. So, just in case I don't want to use that other clip, I'm using Close to My Heart's Bordering Blue. Because, as I said, I want to keep the pink color, but I want to add another one so that he looks kind of like he's in the air. So I'm just going to put a little bit of blue around him. cool. So I didn't like how dark it was, because I use this a lot for inking in black, and apparently some of the black was rubbing off, so it was turning more black than blue. But when I wiped this off, the baby wipe reacted with the ink, and check out the color of the branch now. Insane. Okay, so I'm gonna dry it off quick. And I'm gonna try a little bit of the blue again. Yeah, I don't know. That looks good. And I think what I'm going to try next is I'm going to try a brown marker and fix that branch. Although the branch does match the pink, I really don't want it to be pink. And I have a brown marker here that I'm hoping will work. Alrighty, let me turn the radio off. I'm going to add another color of orange. Oh, and while I was off camera, I had to transfer some of my videos. So I decided that that bird just wasn't doing it for me. I needed a crisper image. So I restamped it on regular cardstock, fussy cut it out, and glued it right on top of the other one. And this fun kind of apricot-y orange color is what I want in here. I love, love, love this stamp of the bird cage, and it just dawned on me that beauty and cage could fit together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to somehow fit the word uncaged and have it say uncaged beauty. And I want this to sit kind of right there. I'm going to go Stays on Black for that one, because I want that to show up pretty well too. I don't want it to disappear. And I don't want to cover up the word beauty either. Perfect. It really stands out. My little word beauty there now doesn't quite stand out. I might go over that with a permanent black marker, which, yeah, I think that would look really cool. I very rarely use glossy accents because it takes too long to dry. I don't have that kind of patience. But since I'm nearing the end of this project, and I added this printed piece to finish off that saying that I wanted, I'm just going to put some on top of that and let it dry. And it looks fuzzy now, but it will dry clear. So I will be back when that is finished.